Hi everyone, Felix here. Today I'm going to be taking a look at my Balmain military blazer. So this was from, not fall winter, spring summer 2013. So if you go back to one of my older videos, you'll actually see a pair of green military jeans there. This is that same collection. You're going to see there's a lot of themes that carry over into this jacket, especially in the piping. So overall, jacket is very fitted and very cropped. This is actually a pretty rare piece. I've only ever seen one come up online, and this is that one. So this is a 44. I took it to my tailor, I had them let out the seams, and now it's a very fitted 46. Best I could do, it's a piece I've always really wanted. So here I am playing with the arm. The material itself is cotton, but it's quite thick, especially for a jacket, so that's going to give it a lot of structure. On the flip side of that, it's a lot harder to move around in the thing, but we'll get more into that. So all the zippers are Lampos. So at some point, I think it was around fall winter 15, they switched from the Lampo zippers over to the YKK. These are the old Lampo zippers, which I think are a little bit better in my opinion, but really it doesn't matter. So all the teeth are pyramid teeth. You can see me opening up the welt there. The pyramid teeth means the points of the zipper teeth come together in a point symmetrically. It just looks a little bit more luxurious, but again, they really don't matter. It's more just for you and it's something you like. All the pockets are functional. These zippers can't really fit anything in there. You can maybe get a phone if you have a small phone or a credit card, that kind of thing. I've never actually put anything in there. I always use the internal pockets. It's really just for show. So the lapels here have a bit of a welt that goes all around the jacket. So the lapel will carry down to the hem, and then that hem wraps around the back of the jacket, and it's symmetrical all the way through. The jacket itself, all the lines look really clean, and that's because it's being such a thick material, you're going to get a nice crease to it, and that just keeps it looking really nice. If you had maybe a thinner wool, it would maybe get a little more wrinkled, but it was a good choice by them to keep that nice clean look, which is kind of what you want in the military jacket, where it's a lot more structured. So this is the cuffs now, and if you go back and watch that jeans video I'm talking about, you'll see that the gold piping here is the same as on the jeans. So buttons, again, all the buttons were made by the same company that does the French military buttons. I don't know if they've changed that now with the newer seasons, but at least back then, those are the same ones. The lining there, you just saw me flip back the cuff. All the Balmain jackets have that white lining with the pinstripes. I say all, there's one or two I've seen without it, but for the most part, they'll have it. So the way they've done the piping here is there's the one seam where the piping is actually stitched in, and then on the other seam, if you turn it around, the gold lays over it. So that's a little more complicated to make because you have to do that one stitch, put the gold piping on, and then stitch it together, but it makes for an uninterrupted look, which is a lot more clean. So if you take a look at last week's video, you see I complain a little bit about the internal pockets, especially for that kind of price. But here in the slightly older versions, they put a little more into it. So you can see the one side had the one pocket, but then on the other side, you have that extra third pocket down there, which I like. The reason being is if you're at work and you have that proximity pass, you can stick that in there and then bump the sensor. There's that fourth pocket there. I have no idea what that's for. Someone else, please tell me. I see it on suits sometimes. I assume it's for a pen because it's quite deep, but I don't really know. So the shoulders here compared to last week are not nearly as structured in terms of like a build-up in padding. It's still a very high armhole, so this is not comfortable. You're not going to be raising your arms, but the shoulder pads itself aren't particularly structured. You think it would be a little bit more considering it's a very militarized jacket, but it's relatively normal. So here you can see where the lapel carries down at the bottom. That welt runs throughout the whole jacket, and the side seams line up with the seams in that welt. So again, it adds to that very clean look where everything is kind of nicely laid out. So this is the back seam here. I'm just kind of playing a little bit with the fabric. You can see very faintly where I had opened up the seam there right in the middle, but the fabric itself is quite thick. There's no shine or anything. It's just a plain cotton. Overall, it's a very cool jacket. If you can find one, I do recommend it. I think, especially in the aftermarket, it's worth the price. But I mean, it's hard to find anything, especially from that season. They weren't as popular back then. It's going to be difficult to find something like this. But if you can, I definitely do recommend it. I think this is good value for money, especially compared to the new ones you see today. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.